I talk about this a lot, and it's worth, we need to clarify some things before I get into the critique, okay? Where are y'all? Here you are. All right. There are several different elements of a song. You have the verse, you have the pre-chorus, you have the chorus, you have the bridge. Sometimes we can talk about a verse and refrain as well, but for the most part, we're going to leave it up to those four things. Your chorus is the thing that's memorable. You know, that is the thing. When people talk about Cake by the Ocean, or I don't know why that song came out. My point is, no one says, hey, you know that song that goes... and it says the first line of the song, you know what I mean? It's usually about the chorus. That's the thing that glues the whole song together, the thing we repeat over and over and over again, most of the time exactly the same way. We break that rule some too, but for the most part, the chorus is the same thing repeated over and over again. Now, interstitially, we put the verse. The verse is the thing that can move the story along, okay? Those are the things that change every time they come up. Verse 1, verse 2 are going to be different. You don't say the same thing in each verse. There are some Whiskey Town songs that do that, but I would put it out there that he probably should have spent some more time on those verses. Verse 1 and verse 2 will be different from each other. Between them, and after each of them, are a chorus that's the same thing. It's just kind of neat, because the chorus, those different verses can give that same chorus a different context, make it sound different even though you're saying the same thing. Okay? Pre-chorus is something that connects the verse to the chorus. Sometimes you have a verse and a chorus that are just kind of too far away from each other. And it could be, most of the time it's melodic for me. Like I feel like there's usually something that needs to happen between what I've written in the verse and the chorus, and I need to connect them somehow. And so I'll have a message in the pre-chorus to connect them. It doesn't have to follow the same rules as the verse or the chorus. It doesn't necessarily need to come back every time you do a verse. You could have a pre-chorus come after just verse 1, and not verse 2 or verse 3, okay? But that's how I like to think of it. The bridge, I actually think a pre-chorus is really like a bridge. It's bridging the verse to the chorus, but I didn't get to name these things. The bridge is more like a cul-de-sac. It's if you have a verse and a chorus, and a verse and a chorus, you've now heard the verse melody twice, different words, and you've heard the chorus twice, and you're probably going to hear that chorus again. Why not give them something a little different? Instead of doing a verse, we may want to do a bridge. I said it's a cul-de-sac because if we're driving along, we can go down the cul-de-sac, go down to the bridge, hear something new, and then turn around and come back and be right back where we were before. Okay, it's just an opportunity to say something different and maybe sing it in a different way, but not follow the same rules that we've set up with the verse and the chorus at that point. Okay, all of these things are ways that you can tell your story, deliver your hook in interesting ways, and there are a bunch of different ways to do that. So let's quickly go through Straight Tequila Night, and I'll show you the form. Okay, Straight Tequila Night has, by the way, let me tell you this before I do anything. When you're submitting to these contests, this is really, really important. You want to distinguish between these parts. Okay, tell me what the verse is. Tell me what the chorus is. Now, what I do is I bold the chorus so I know that that's the chorus, okay? And I always repeat it. Even though we know what the chorus sounds like, and I could just write chorus here and not write the chorus again, remember that the chorus can have a different context after a different verse. So it's always good to type it in again, okay? Just copy and paste it. That's what you need to do. If it's in there and you say it again, put it in there again. Don't just write chorus, okay? This song, Straight Tequila Night, has a verse, has a chorus, has another verse, and then a chorus, and a chorus, and a chorus, and a chorus. This doesn't always work. It works really well for George Strait. It worked really well for John Anderson in this situation. But it's something to consider sometimes. Just if you get all the action of the song out in 2 verses and you want to sing that chorus a million times, I say go for it. This is a really short chorus, so that's why it works. But yeah, that's one example. Verse, chorus, 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 chorus. Next, let's look at Hold On. Okay, actually hold on while I get Hold On. Okay, Hold On has a verse, and I would say that this back half here could be a pre-chorus. If I read it, if I read it to you, you wouldn't think so. But when you hear it, it does sound like it's delivered a little differently, kind of like a pre-chorus. So I would say it's verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then it does it over and over again. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, 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 vamp at the end. Okay? So here we have, for all intents and purposes, verse, pre-chorus, chorus 4 times. I also wouldn't suggest doing that if you're writing for the radio, but it works really well here. Why do I say not do it for the radio? It's hard to fit 4 verses, 4 pre-choruses, and 4 choruses in a song that's only 3 minutes long. You could have a radio edit and drop a verse or 2, but it's just something to consider. This is such a long story, and Tom Waits doesn't care. He knows this is going to be on a record, not on the radio anyway. He can stretch this out to be, to serve the story well. Okay? Let's do one more. I haven't done driver's license. Let's quickly do that one, and we'll move on. Driver's license. Okay, with driver's license, we got verse, chorus. Okay, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. Do you see how I have italicized bridge? I do that as well when I'm writing lyrics out, because your eyes can clearly see what these sections are. Okay, if when you're submitting lyrics they don't let you bold and italicize stuff, then just label them each time at the top. Verse, say verse here, say chorus, verse, chorus, bridge. Like label them so that we know what's what. Okay. But anyway, so we have verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Now, why does that work, and why is it cool? Well, by doing 2 verses, it lets you get a little more story out before you get to the chorus. She could have done another double verse here, but she didn't. And what that does, it's a cool tool to keep in the back of your mind. If you've established a pattern of saying, I'm going to do 2 verses and then a chorus, and then when you get to that next verse and you only do half of that, it throws you into the chorus and it feels unexpected. And it was unexpected that you arrived there, but it's familiar because you've already heard the chorus before. So it's kind of a neat trick. After you've gone through 2 verses at this point, plus another verse, and you've already sung 2 choruses, I understand now why you would do a bridge instead of a verse, because we've already heard essentially 3 verses at this point. So let's hear something melodically a little different. Word-wise, this is a little different. So that's why I think the bridge is a really good thing here, and then go back to the chorus again. It's just good writing. This is just 3 different examples, and there's a million of them. And there's different songs that do the exact same patterns we just talked about, but always leave these as options. If you've got a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, you might consider trimming a verse. You might consider turning one of those verses into a bridge and see what happens. But give yourself permission to do that.